Yay!
Yay! It's a celebration.
Yay!
Oh God.
Oh my God, you're God!
I wrote down some Byron Katie quotes to read if you guys want to hear it.
Cool.
Oh, beautiful.
Mm.
A thought is harmless unless we believe it. It's not our thoughts, but our attention to our thoughts that causes suffering. Attaching to a thought means believing that it's true without inquiry. A belief is a thought that we've been attaching to, often for years. I am a lover of what is, not because I'm a spiritual person, but because it hurts when I argue with reality. If you put your hand into the fire, does anyone have to tell you to move it? Do you have to decide? No. When your hand starts to burn, it moves. You don't have to direct it. The hand moves itself. In the same way, once you understand through inquiry that an untrue thought causes suffering, you move away from it. The miracle of love comes to you in the presence of the uninterpreted moment. If you are mentally somewhere else, you miss real life. When you stop opposing reality, actions become simple, fluid, kind, and fearless. When you argue with reality, you lose, but only 100% of the time. When we are What we are doing with inquiry is meeting our thoughts with some simple understanding. Finally, pain, anger, and frustration will let us know when it's time to inquire. We either believe what we think or we question it. There's no other choice. Questioning our thoughts is the kinder way. Inquiry always leaves us as more loving human beings. The end.
Yay! Thanks, Leela.
Oh, thank you.
Beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
She's such an angel in our life, like just as we all are angels within each
Yay.
other's lives.
Yay.
That's where I got the question, is that true, from Byron Katie? And that was my main mantra when I was seeking for years. Just
Mm-hmm.
ask, is that true? And if you really ask, you'll see it's not.
Mm-hmm. Mine was, what's aware of this thought? And it just, the absolute kept seeing itself, seeing itself, seeing itself.
Mm-hmm.
And as the awareness, like you give rise to everything that's appearing. You make it appear like it exists. So paying attention to the imagination, you illuminate it, you animate it, you make these bodies appear in these faces appear and the sounds appear, and you're tasting yourself as that, as pure consciousness.
Another
So
way.
that.
Oh, sorry, Jen.
Okay, you go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say another way of sort of putting exactly what Jen's saying is where do thoughts get their power from?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. That's
Mhm.
it.
Yeah. You are the source. You are the. How can it appear without you? How can a thought appear without you? How can anything? So that's it's like imagining the boogeyman, and you're the awareness giving rise to the concept of the boogeyman in the imagination, but then forgetting, and thinking it's real playfully, which is still not, you're still not affected by it. You're always remain untouched, untainted, like immaculate. But all it is just a impersonal sensation, of feeling.
Hmm.
And
So
I too,
hmm?
sorry, I just wanted to just say I too had the same thing in my seeking stage as well. I was listening and reading Byron Katie's books, and the one question that really brought me back to where this home has always been is, what would you be without that thought? And I can remember obsessing or putting so much attention, and then would ask myself that, and it was like, well, it would be nothing. Like
Mm-hmm.
so many glimpses back then when doing.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, it's like an addiction to pain. But
Yeah.
we are not, that is not even real. That's not our beingness isn't painful.
Mm-hmm.
But we've forgotten who we are, who we truly are, our true source.
It's kind of like how we enjoy going to haunted houses and watching horror movies. It's the same.
Yeah, there's an attraction. And it's a slippery slope.
To getting distracted by the shiny plastic things that aren't real, just that you're illuminating, in the imagination. The theme park.
Yeah, one question that helped here was, what's the difference between noticing and reacting?
Mm.
Ooh. Mm.
Right? Reacting
Mm-hmm.
has a completely different vibe to it, does it not?
Mm-hmm.
You feel helpless and just reacting to whatever's being thrown this way versus noticing, like pausing.
Mm-hmm.
And noticing gives you that space between that helplessness and the reaction to observe and to see.
Noticing isn't judging.
Mm-hmm.
Reacting is. That's what it's coming from, it seems like. I had a quote that helped me along the way, and it was, why not just identify with awareness for the next hour? Now when now when the story comes up, I'm sad, I'm alone, I'm disconnected, I want a thrill. Awareness says, what an interesting story.
Yay,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah,
That's
that's it.
it. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and there can be
Yeah.
compassion. Like, of course you would be bored or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's allowed already.
I added I want a thrill. This was from Stephen Harrison, gave that to me years ago.
Beautiful.
Sequoia.
I love
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Hits the
Yeah.
target. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not the character. This
I'm
was a
trying.
dream.
I'm trying to do the. Ginny has said, "Who is aware?" So I listen to music, and I ask myself, or I ask the question, what is aware of the music, of the sound? So this is the first question, and then what? And then what is the next? Do I
Mhm.
How to, what is the next step?
Mhm.
I asked the question once. So, can you give me more detail on how to practice it in detail?
Well, that's it right there. When you just ask, what is aware? If you were to feel into that right now, what's aware of the smiling on your face? What's aware of coming out of here? It's right here. It's nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Bodiless, formless, infinite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
The absolute
Yeah,
awareness.
Beautiful.
the absolute awareness. Okay, but this lasts for a few seconds, and then we continue to ask the question.
Yeah.
We continue to ask the question, and during 15 minutes or half an hour, we continue asking the same question.
And then you're like, oh, snap. All there is awareness. There's just perceiving impersonal sensations, one consciousness, feeling, being the sound, being. So it's more intimate than intimate.
mhm.
So awareness gives rise to the sound because it's existence itself, beingness itself, giving rise to whatever's imagined. So imagining sound, you can't be separate from it. You're projecting yourself as it, being it, you know. But all of this is an illusion so that you as the infinite immaculate singularity can experience yourself by imagining infinite qualities.
Can
And
I
if
jump
you,
in here for a minute?
oh
Sorry,
yeah,
Jenny.
hey Brent, go ahead.
Um,
Mhm.
it's just I would just want to share an experience that I've had recently, or so I'm sitting at a river that I normally come to, which is awesome. Everything's warming up here in Canada, springtime. And last time I was here, I was saying, "Oh, it'd be awesome to see an eagle," because I'm like at a river, and I'm like, "Well, maybe a hawk, because eagles aren't too common around here." And then I'm like, "Well, what about a falcon?" I drove away that day. And then I watch a lot of people on YouTube, and one of the readers said the exact same thing. So I pull up today, and I'm sitting out on one of the benches here, and I look up. I'm like, "Is that an eagle?" So I come back, get
Yeah.
my binoculars. It's a bald eagle circling.
Wow.
So I come back into my car, and I'm sitting here, and I'm like, "I wonder if I can call that eagle in." Because I saw that on a video one time. A guy asked God to bring an eagle to him, and it landed right on his tree stand right in front of him. And I look out, and a shadow goes by, and I'm like, "What is that?" I look out, a hawk was flying across the river. So
Wow.
now it's just a matter of the falcon showing up, and it'll happen. It'll
How
happen.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. You render evidence of whatever you're
Yeah.
resonating as being. It's magic. It's magical.
Best day of my life.
Best day every day.
Only day.
Only
That's
day.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. On repeat. Yeah.
Yeah. I say that, all the time. And my son is like, you say that every day, Mom. It's the best day of your life.
I'm gonna go explore the city and the buildings.
Yay. Cool.
To tell a story for me that I started to notice synchronicities like the eagle, happening, strange things, coincidences. And it felt like a Venus flytrap in a way because it made me very curious and I had to seek to see what this was all about. And there are still synchronicities today, but I feel like it was sort of a moth to a flame kind of thing. Yeah.
It's all
Okay.
for fun. This is all novelty.
All
It
right.
is all novelty. It's fun.
Yeah, like God's playground.
Yeah, Jen, just for you. So there's somebody out there that just went into our waiting room with the name iPhone, which could be a Zoom bomber, but in your honor, it might not be, but
Let's
in
do
your
it.
honor, I'm going to let them in.
Dun dun dun.
So
They might make it a little exciting.
yeah,
Yeah,
I hope you're naked.
they better be streaking.
I
Oh,
was
it's
in
a
and out of
tree.
the waiting room a few times because my car audio wasn't picking up properly, so I had to. I was in and out trying to get it to work, so that's why. Sorry about that.
Okay, good. I thought you were punking me.
No.
So I'd like to add to that concept of manifesting, and it's all for fun, and it's not real anyway, but it's for fun. And I watched a movie last night called Ruby Sparks, and it's based on that concept of this man writes or he types in his book, and he makes up this woman that he loves, and she shows up in his kitchen.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll write it in the comment
Beautiful.
section.
Yeah, I'll check that out.
I'm always looking for movie recommendations.
Yeah.
Yep. Wake us up. Awakening movies.
It's so fun how all of it has, every movie has a message in there because it's all God saying, I'm already awake. Come on. None of this shit's real.
Yes.
I mean, what are even romance movies if it's not that, man? You know, yeah.
I wanted to talk about what Raj asked earlier. I kind of got the feeling he was like, okay, I'm listening to the music. I'm aware of awareness. Now what? You know. Hey, Raj. Did you get a haircut?
Yay.
Oh. Yeah, I remember that. I remember being like, okay, this is awareness. Like, so? But we're so used to like looking for a concept for words and symbols to alert us to something. And that doesn't happen. It's just sort of like a resonance of noticing. And that can be a very fertile place for insights to dawn, seeing through thoughts to dawn. So it's just kind of like hanging out there and basking in that. And anything can arise there. So thoughts about, well, am I there yet? Or any sort of thoughts can arise. But just see that that's happening. It's rising out of nothing, you know. Sort of notice that you didn't make that happen. You weren't even trying to think. You were trying to listen to music, right? So it's just spending time there.
Yeah, it's a feeling, being. It's being. So it's non-computational because you already are. You already are that.
Yeah, I like this Nisargadatta quote. As long as you give reality to dreams, you are their slave.
I
love that.
Yeah, that's like the VR headset analogy of God, this formless, infinite, pure awareness looking through the VR headset, which is just looking at the imagination, rendering it, giving rise to it, making it appear to exist, illuminating and animating it. You know, but then
Thank you.
Thank you. Exactly.
As someone complimented my dog, but
okay. That was perfect.
Thank you, Ginny.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with thank you.
Yeah. And so like there is no boogeyman, you know, basically there's no world, there's no characters, there's no avatars. Just like looking through a VR headset, that's virtual reality. It's not real, but you're giving rise to it. You're making it appear like it's real. So you're appearing to objectify yourself as awareness, you know, being the object of awareness so that you can see yourself, you can feel yourself, you can sense yourself through the imagination, through these imaginary impersonal qualities.
Yeah.
So you never get lost. You're immaculate. So even the sensation of being lost in the dream is just an impersonal sensation that you're perceiving or tasting as pure awareness that's immaculate and untouched, you know, always free.
Jen, I just wanted to piggyback on what you said about it being non-computational, right? There's that nice word, non-com. So in a way, to me, that's pointing that this is intuitive. It's a resonance. It's not about figuring it out in the mind.
Yeah, because you precede the mind. You're the source of the mind. So how can you get it with the mind, you know? It's just you use the mind as a mirror to reflect back on yourself, to see yourself.
That doesn't mean thoughts don't arise, though. They just come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like clouds in the sky.
And we give them their freedom. It's not like we're trying to control them anymore. We've set them all free.
Yeah. And when they're all welcome, none of them are scary, and they're not separate. You see them for what they are. Yeah.
And this message is in that movie, Ruby Sparks. It's very, very illustrative on that point.
Yay.
Yeah.
I want to check that out.
You set what you create free.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can notice that it's already free.
Yes, and then it's like a brand new creation, but it's always been available, but we didn't know that.
Yeah, it can seem like a happening, but it's just a noticing what's already.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's nothing to get. There's no one to free. There's no one to awaken. This is already done. Yeah.
It's too fleeting, right, Manny? Too fleeting.
Well, that,
I just thank God it's fleeting.
Manny was talking about how it was too quick to grasp.
Yeah.
I wanted to say something. It may be dumb, but because it was dumb for me to not get it. When we always talk about awareness being aware of itself, it took me forever because I'm trying to get my thoughts were trying to figure out how this awareness here is going to be aware of itself.
Not in the words.
I mean, and that which was aware of that thought is the awareness.
Yeah, but then you go, it's everything. You know, you keep on saying it's everything, yet it never clicks until it clicks.
Yeah. And then you're like, oh my gosh, it's everything.
Yeah, it's like, because the awareness is aware of everything that's being projected by it.
Yeah.
But it's not two things. It's just the awareness. Exactly.
Aware of itself, tasting itself, licking itself, like an ice cream cone. Like just it's all mental. So it's just like the pure consciousness, you know, aware of itself. And it's none of it's physical, none of it's real. This is aware of itself as an illusion, as a imaginary quality.
But Jenny, when you were saying that, you know, awareness being, or God being in love with itself and that kind of stuff, immediately I turned off for some reason. And it didn't want to grasp it, didn't want to go beyond the words and see that it's just crazy. Sometimes you're stuck with something and until it opens up.
Yay!
Yeah, it's just nuts.
And then you see it. It's experiential, just like you can't describe the color green or the taste of mint. It's consciousness tasting itself, being it. So it's non-conceptual. You can't, being.
It's not two. Yeah.
Yeah, not too. So it can feel ecstatic or like ecstasy, even pain or whatever sensations, because you're not separate from it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's not in the words. The words are just doing a really crappy job of pointing to it.
Yeah.
Well, words are an attempt to limit the infinite.
Yeah, it defiles it, really.
Innocently, though, yes.
Mm-hmm. We're a bunch of assholes talking about this.
Leela Muse.
Yeah.
Full stop also helps. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Hmm.
with all the words and stuff, the thoughts, feelings, emotions.
Hmm.
Well, here there's like a sharing of a space, a resonance, a silence,
Hi.
a peace that is uncommon out there, waiting in line at the store. You know, it's either on the iPhone or chit-chatting or thinking.
Mhm.
So to just bask in the emptiness together, to me is a real treat.
Hmm.
I can relate to Manny. I can remember trying to figure this out through thought. Oh God, it was torture. Uh, and then once it was seen that I'm not those thoughts, that there's something much more vast, like words can't even, it can't really touch it. Like it's emptiness swaying, emptiness looking, emptiness walking to the bathroom, emptiness eating. You could, there's no word to describe it, but there is experientialness in it because it's so natural and organic. And like I said before, it was so easily hidden. I mean, it was so easy to miss. But there was like something Manny said, there was like this opening. That's it, just a little, a baby opening, and boop, like
Hmm.
right here, right now, cool air, sitting
Hmm.
back and forth. What is swaying back and forth? Or thought will be, I miss bocce. And then there's a little inquire, well, who's missing bocce? Like it's just a thought claiming doership or claiming personhood. So when it's seen in that way, it's like, okay, it's okay. And then everything else just becomes, it's not agreed on and it doesn't hurt as much. It doesn't hurt at all, rather. So yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. And that idea, I'm separate, is just an impersonal sensation appearing and disappearing in the pure consciousness that you are, you know, that's eternally free. So it's completely, you remain untouched by all the illusory sensations, but you're, you know, making love to yourself through that, because through the appearance of hallucinating, sitting in a chair, you as the infinite can feel yourself. So you can feel these sensations that aren't really happening, which is so beautiful. And the thing about thought is cracks me up because you can't work out a thought with another thought. You know how it downward spirals? It just gets worse and worse and worse. It's the cessation of thought that resolves the thought.
Yeah.
Yay. I love that.
I love that.
And that's very
Beautiful.
subtle because it doesn't mean thought stops either.
Right.
Mhm.
There's an energetic grasping onto the thought that ceases.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I want to say, in a way, you're both happier. I notice when I allow thoughts to express, however, I'm happier and they're happier.
They also die.
They die.
Yeah.
They die happily.
Not taking them seriously, so there's a sense of relief. And with relief is that happiness. Like,
Well,
oh,
Mhm.
it's also not meeting them with a wall of rejection.
absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm.
Welcome
Yeah.
in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because what you resist persists.
Beautiful.
When it's all allowed and welcome home, you're welcome to be here. Let me hug you. Then it's all free and it's Yeah.
Mm.
And being aware of the thought completely dissolves it. It's you swallow it, you know. Gulp.
Yeah,
I'll
when
share something. That there was a time when we're talking about awareness that I used to try to figure out what is awareness? Is it a thing?
Yeah.
And then what does it mean to be aware of being aware? I was getting that from certain teachers and really getting into it. And and then I sort of realized that my mind was trying to conceptualize it or was conceptualizing it. And and at one point, um, when I first started to hear Nkosi just talk about just this, and this had really no inherent meaning. It was just like a placeholder. And then all the descriptions and trying to figure it out, and even the non-dual, whatever, those descriptions, my mind would grasp onto the concepts. Oh, it's this or it's that, or and
Mm-hmm.
then after a while, it didn't matter. It was this or whatever the
Mm-hmm.
word was, or emptiness, full stop, and not going, and not no need to go further. And if there were thoughts or whatever, now it's just whatever's showing up, but no longer trying to put any concept around it. It was just basking, if I could call it that, not that I'm basking, but basking in whatever's just this, and not try to
Yeah.
figure out, and not try to put any words on it, but just this. And even the word
Mm-hmm.
this could be anything, just bark, 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 or whatever. But that was like the magic. Because then there's nothing. There was like there's like a letting go, because whatever whatever's this, that's what's
hmm
the only way I can say it. But that full stop really cut out a lot of trying to put labels on it or figure it out or put some
Mm-hmm.
non-dual description in there.
Mm-hmm.
It was just there's like an abiding or an ease into
Mm-hmm.
just what is.
Yeah.
As Byron Katie would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That,
The
I have
deep
Abiding.
a
I
dive.
love that word.
I have an image pop up in my mind of a fizzy drink. And the fizzy drink is who we are. And there's bubbles in the fizzy drink. And the bubbles represent all kinds of thoughts and beliefs and fear. And they're just bubbles. And they don't really ruin the drink. They're just there. And it's all one drink with bubbles.
Beautiful.
you just said you could call it. It's just a fizzy drink.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's all, and there's nothing wrong with it. You just drink it down, all of it.
Gulp.
So I'm looking at Addie's video, and there's no person. There's just walking and colors and whatever. And that's what it feels like here, like just emptiness doing its thing. That's just the insight I'm getting from watching her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I love that.
Love it
It's
too.
it's bodiless, it's formless.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a sensory experience for the infinite that you are, that's without body, without character.
Yeah, I would say it's a sort of a loss of the body being separate from the world.
Mm-hmm. You could say the world is your body.
Yes. Or you got a fishbowl on your head, right, Leela?
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like a stepping back or the world moving forward,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and your body becomes just part of the content. The thoughts are just content. They're not identified with or claimed.
Mm-hmm.
And that impersonal
Mhm.
perspective actually truly honors the person, and it is compassionate, and it's just like, oh, of course it would do that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like living for the first time in a way.
And just like the VR headset, looking, what you're seeing in the VR headset is an illusion. All there is that's real is the one wearing the headset. So this
hmm
is all a beautiful imaginary projection of the one and only, the beloved that's eternally free. And that's all there is.
Mm.
So there is no one suffering. There is no one in the world. There are no characters or avatars. There is no world. And that's total freedom.
It's also unconditional, very unconditional.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the seen and the seeing and the seer are indistinguishable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Immutable.
So Leela, you're saying there's no separation.
Not without a thought. That's full.
And here's the funny part, right? Even with the thought, is there separation? Even with the thought.
No.
Well, it can seem to be, but yeah.
But even that is just an impersonal sensation arising in you as consciousness. So it's just like you're looking at like an ice cream cone, tasting it, but you're unaffected by it. So all of those impersonal sensations, that which is perceiving and aware of the impersonal sensation of this is separate, is immutable, is beyond the concept of freedom, doesn't need to be free,
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. So that's why all of that is futile, because the seeker is the sought. Go ahead.
I was just going to throw in that freedom doesn't even compute to this.
Mm-hmm.
How about relief?
Yeah, also, we were talking about that on the phone, Leela and Michael and I, that it was such a relief to recognize I wasn't the character, Jenny, that none of this is real, and that the world isn't real.
Yeah.
What a fucking relief.
Yeah, it can be really funny and creepy.
Yeah, it is funny. It's the cosmic joke. I remember laughing for weeks. I was like, oh my God, the joke was on me.
Yes.
I fell for my own scam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yet when I go to these meetings sometimes, you can see the stubbornness in the ego, not wanting to open up a little bit, just to experience the present moment as it is. And because it's just got a vested interest in believing in a thought life, an ego-centered thought life that doesn't. Anyway, I think what somebody was asking about the thoughts, what do you do after you see the thoughts and stuff like that? That's a valid question, because you get stuck and you don't know what to do. And you're trying to figure it out with thought again.
Mm-hmm.
It's
So
just
what
part
would
of
be
the
helpful for him?
It says nothing about you already.
That's just the hide and seek game for fun.
Yeah, when this was all seen too, it was just wow, ordinary, simple. That those words didn't come out, but then a thought is like, no, this is not real. You're not. We need to go back to meditation. Well, what? Wait, you're looking at the wall. What does that mean? And like, oh, and that was just a thought.
I know, right?
Isn't that fun?
Catching it, and it's okay. Like it was just so yeah. Big old disidentifying from it, and then it's just yes. Sometimes I can remember the first month and seeing this. I remember I was going to the train station to go to New York, and it was because I was just so engulfed in the sensations for the first time, seemingly first time, like really, because his body wasn't used to attention on sights and sounds, and I got out of the car and I didn't know where I was. It was well, it was just everything was just explosive with color. It still is, but for some reason that day I just didn't know where I was, and I started to walk, and eventually I was like, oh yeah, right. There's the street right there, and there's a train station. But the body, I was sharing this last night. The body loves this attention. There's an intelligence in here that's like wanting that association, like you said, Ginny, that love making, that it's like craving that, and then when that's being experiential, when that's happening here, taking in the colors, watching the trees flow back and forth, and somebody walking across the street, it's just that's it. It's done.
Yay.
Yeah.
You just experience what we all want, is that true love, true love's first kiss.
Yeah.
Hey.
Which it is. That's all
We
there
wake up out
is.
of the
Yeah.
capsule of judgment and we are free.
Mhm.
And it's just, what a beautiful, yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
That is beautiful. Thank you.
True love includes the experience of searching for love and being lost. It wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
be love without
Yes.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no opposite.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Just licking that ice cream cone that of itself, like, rendering itself as that sensation, that impersonal sensation, and tasting what that's like. And how else could you, as the singular, infinite, bodiless, formless, you would, that's how, with that distraction of thought, with getting locked on to those ideas, those conceptual ideas, is how you, as that which is not human, can experience what it's like to be human. So that's absolutely total perfection, all of it. And all of that is an impersonal sensation arising in you as the pure, bodiless, infinite consciousness that's eternally free. So even that sensation, you're unaffected by. Always, you remain immaculate and unchanging.
Hmm.
I love
So
that you, not the person. I love that.
Yeah.
in a way, it's our standards of what we believe perfection to be that changes.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, this is a mental projection. So mentally projecting assumptions is what appears on the screen of awareness that you are, which is limitless and infinite, malleable and changeable. So it's never doomed. But you can project, a limited belief on the screen and then perceive that quality, but all there is perceiving sensations, perceiving qualities, being bodiless, formless, sensing.
I could share a pointer here that was helpful, is that what is here ever present that has no opposite?
Hmm.
Because what was noticed was all thoughts can have an opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
It's all embraced.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like a true love that never betrays itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Eternally free. And like being the one at the movie theater, all alone watching the movie. You're not in the movie. You're enjoying it. You've got your feet propped up eating popcorn. And
So much fun.
how can the movie appear to exist without you being aware of it? You're the source of it, projecting it. And it's playful. You're projecting yourself as this formless infinite in imagination, experiencing yourself.
Yeah.
So everything is the sought. Everything is the infinite that's formless, bodiless. So you are the cause. You're the one and only. So nothing needs to be free. Nothing needs to wake up or change. That was the joke. So the sought, imagining itself as the seeker, to perceive that quality, that sensation, but remains forever home, eternally.
So in a way, nothing changes. We just stop believing the thoughts that say something should happen, or it should look this way, or there's a right or correct way that I should reach.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a lightness to the thoughts. They used to be really heavy and when they were taken seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And now they seem very light and honestly often comical.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can't. They are funny.
they're cute.
Mm-hmm. Sweet little thoughts.
But that which is aware of the music is impersonal. The
Mm-hmm.
same, the same aware, that which is aware in me is the same awareness which is aware in Ginny.
Yeah. Yeah, and there is no Jenny or Raj or any character. All there is the absolute.
Yeah.
Imagining yourself as faces on a screen is the sound of this voice. So by being aware, you're making it appear to exist, and you're perceiving yourself as this sound, a voice, as the music. So you are the music. You're everything. And it totally makes sense that being singular, you can't stand apart. To experience yourself, you imagine, you imagine what you're not, to see yourself, to sense yourself, to perceive yourself. So you're formless, bodiless, characterless, projecting characters, in your mind, imagining it, perceiving it, tasting it. And it's all impersonal. There is no separate individual. There's just one pure absolute awareness, and that's all there is.
We assume we know where the sound is coming from. We think we know where we are. When that knowing falls away, when it's seen through, to be imagined, like believing in Santa Claus, then you start to feel that existential terror of falling, because you can't differentiate. And that acclimates back into normal everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
It's the innocent arrogance of believing that we know what this is and what's happening that keeps us from seeing the wholeness.
Even science can't do not science cannot know where the sound comes from. They
Mm-hmm.
they just say they say the mind just occurs somewhere. They can't explain.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, because consciousness is fundamental, from which
Yeah,
the
yeah,
concept of science appears and disappears. So this
yeah.
is non-conceptual, non-computational, because you are the source of the mind, from which all the imaginary, infinite imagination appears. So infinite qualities, infinite ideas, infinite concepts, like infinite worlds, basically, infinite worlds, an illusion of multi-dimensionality, but you are dimensionless.
Yeah. Science
So
is stacking labels on top of labels. That's all it can do. you know.
And it's all make believe too. It's whatever you believe or render because of your God, you project onto the movie screen. So it's make believe. You can project anything. Just like Brent was talking about, like when he was focusing on the feeling, he was focusing on being the eagles and then projected on the screen the eagles. Because you're infinite being. And this is your playground.
And I just wanted to share that the more you notice, that the sort of more automatic it becomes. And in a way, I can't really explain this, but there seems to be a vibe that when people interact with you, it seems to go well. I can't really explain. There's an easiness now with my interactions that I can't really explain.
It's like water, it just flows.
Yeah. Yeah, when there's no separation, there's no sensation of resistance.
And there's no argument. There's just a standing in the truth and the power of who we really are. And we just want that for everyone. But
yeah. And how funny the argument is just argument with yourself.
Yeah.
And
it's
trying
to
trying to convince someone of this is you trying to convince yourself. Once there's no one to convince, there is no one to convince. No world to
beautiful.
save. Yeah.
That's so great. I'm noticing that
freedom.
There's a lot of noticing going on here about that.
Yeah, because that was still a joke when I thought there was people to help wake up, and no, that was still a delusion. That was still an illusion. There aren't any people to wake up. I called that savior syndrome. Because it's like being the one in the movie theater watching the movie, thinking you're a superhero in the movie. There's no one in the movie.
Yeah, there's that belief in specialness that that's lots of noticing, and it's really there's not a big attraction to it anymore. Like it's losing its charge, so to speak.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And that brings lots of happiness.
Yay. It's like permanent retirement. It's like a lazy boy, cosmic quantum lazy boy fell out of the sky and you're retired. There's no world to save. There's no one to change. There's no one to wake up from the dream. All there is the absolute. And it's like a holodeck and Star Trek. It's just vacation. It's novelty. It's fun. It's just, there's nothing that needs to be done, which is amazing.
Well,
yeah,
that resonates very deeply.
Yeah. My gosh, yay.
Even wanting to say people is this,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bit of a confusion, I guess you could say, but it's this.
All in. You're right. It's all an impersonal sensation arising in you as pure awareness, aware of itself. So always immaculately itself.
What is there to do?
Yeah, infinite magic though too, infinite discovery, like Brent and I geek out on. I mean, it's playful. It's so playful.
Yay.
Giving her time off leash.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, that's what you could do with your thoughts. Give them time off leash.
Oh, unleash.
You found a way to connect it.
Nothing's in jail. Everything's free.
We're good. We're good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is really a celebration of already. That's it. There's nothing yet, nothing to find, nothing. Just celebrate. It's beautiful.
Infinite playground. No one's getting left out of the playground. Everyone's allowed to play.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yay.
It can be preferred that is recognized, though, certainly.
But that which is aware of that idea is already recognized, is already cognized.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Can't escape it. You can't escape eternal freedom. That's all there is.
Beautiful.
I
Even the
remember when
playful. Go ahead.
I remember when I first found this message, I was really into non-duality, and I went nuts because or I was into spirituality, and I went nuts because all my beliefs were dying, and I got sent to the mental hospital. But once I
Awesome.
got to the mental hospital, I was yelling to everyone non-duality shit. I was like,
That's hilarious.
I love it.
I was like, and then once I got out, I started listening to Jim Newman with one earbud in my school computer because I got my phone taken away.
That's cute.
Yay.
Yeah.
Which was just you talking to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, go
Oh.
ahead.
Well, I was just going to say here, there was sort of it just kind of happened naturally. There seemed to be a loss of interest in past and future.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So images from the past, it's not the past, but images are popping up so much, right? Like last few days. And they're all just to be noticed.
Mm-hmm.
To
Beautiful.
see where I was holding a bubble of judgment. And
Yeah.
and the bubbles are just coming up to be popped. Just pop, 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 pop. And that's the healing of the past. Like it's no longer the past anymore.
Beautiful. Yeah,
and-
it all comes up to be integrated and come home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, just like watching a movie, it's only in reference to the beginning of the movie that gives the movie meaning. So it's that contrast of but all of it is just already done, all information available in one consciousness, illusory information, that's vibrating now immediately. It's not, it's mental. And it didn't happen. It's not anything that happened.
Right.
But that's how this appears to have a unique experience, is with reference points to memory, which is like computer memory on a hard drive. And it's so beautiful because even that unique aversions and the unique qualities of aversion and preference, and it's an illusory constraint that makes it appear unique. When it's limitless, it's infinite. So it can taste itself with these infinite unique qualities experientially through the memory, which is malleable too. You can change the movie on the movie screen by going in and changing all the memory. It's amazing. It's miraculous, magical.
Yeah, it seems like memories are really different now because you see that it was all innocent. There was no perpetrator, no victim.
Yes.
No boogeyman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No attacker. It's just
it was all you,
for
boo.
you.
Yeah, all you, boo.
Yeah, it happened for you, for the drama,
Yeah.
for the journey.
Totally. Like that's what you wanted. Like the movie is not interesting if there's not a conflict and resolution and dramatic storyline. How beautiful. The climax and the orgasm, it's just.
Yeah. You can't be mature without being immature first.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a funness in the role playing. Sister, girlfriend, flight attendant. I can still play roles today, but it's seen through very, very quickly. But it felt limited in that I believe that I was the role and I was the Indira character and her past. And then when this was seen, it was like, wow, all right.
Yay.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, that's just part of the movie,
Yeah, the drama.
Yes, the people are disappearing. that never were.
Totally. It's seen through. Yeah, because it's like being at the movie theater, watching the movie, you're not in the movie, and then forgetting and thinking you're the character in the movie, and it's all real and it's all happening to you, and you're a victim and this world's against you. And that's just all playful because that's all impersonal sensations appearing in you as pure consciousness, tasting itself as this, sensually as this qualities that completely remains untouched eternally. But that's just part of the fun. God's play, God's TV show. So it's
and this meeting, sorry.
You go ahead.
This meeting is fun.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's why it's here. Because we all wanted it.
It's all for fun. Novelty.
Yes, novelty.
Playground. A hallucination.
We wanted to see ourselves.
I want to read what Jade said. I'm in an adventure right now, trying to achieve my dreams. It creates a drama and is more interesting than getting them right away.
Cool. Yeah, you like the drama of the process, We're
a bunch of divas.
So cool. What were you going to say, Manny? Were you about to say something?
Yeah, there was something Michael was talking about, past and future type of thing. And Ramana Maharshi, this quote here, there is neither past nor future, there is only the present. Yesterday was a present when you experienced it. Tomorrow will also be the present when you experience it. Therefore, experience takes place only in the present, and beyond and apart from experience, nothing exists. And then even the present is mere imagination, or the sense of time is purely mental.
Yeah.
So it kind of
totally
blows a hole in
it's
even
a story
the present.
Of time.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's just
that
like
is beautiful.
Thing is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or 1 hour from now. If I could when I look at that clock, of course, there's just imagination to it, but looking at it clearly, it's just a physical object, and it's just moving, but it's really here.
Yeah. Now. Clean slate. Nothing happened before this. Born again, like Jesus said. Yeah, and that's funny. My boyfriend has a clock on the wall that says now for all the time.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's so amazing.
It's like the borders between the countries and the states, they don't exist.
Yeah, imaginary. Everything's imaginary. It's a projection of the mind. It's an idea, conceptual idea projecting on the screen of awareness that you are perceiving itself.
Yeah, watching the Gulf of Mexico change to the Gulf of America, like just watching it all change.
One quantum soup, unified field.
It's forever changing, and it all is just imagination.
Yeah, God imagining this. It's amazing. It's like, and if you back all the way up to what you are, all there is awareness. All there is perceiving sensations, pure consciousness, aware of itself. That's it. It's so simple. And just like God wearing a VR headset, everything you're seeing, you're illuminating, you're rendering on the fly by being aware of it. You're the source of it. You're magical. And it's a hallucination for you to have fun with. It's amazing. Even the pain can be fun, because it's not happening to you. You're immaculate and you're not separate from it. It can be ecstatic.
And before we close out this afternoon, I just want to encourage you to play with it. Play with it. See if you can notice the difference when you're imagining and caught up in imagination and reacting, and then notice when you're aware of the thought. Yeah. So I want to encourage that.
Just noticing.
Yeah.
It's like without innocently, we've all become addicted to thoughts innocently. So This is just noticing what's ever present, and that, in a way, becomes your new addiction.
Beautiful.
Mm.
Yes. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks,
Thank you,
Marty.
Ginny.
Thank you,
Thank you,
And
Nana.
Leela.
everybody.
Thank you,
Thank
Leela.
you.
And Indira. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Mwah. Yay,
Everyone.
Love you
friends.
guys.
Love you guys.
Have a good
Thank
weekend.
you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yay, beloved. Mwah. What a beautiful celebration. And feel free to reach out to any of us for a one-on-one chat about anything and everything. Awakening. We're here for you. I am you. You are me. Yay, love you. The links are in the description of how to get in touch with us. Yay.